What's going on, people? We are back at it again. Catechism Tuesdays, week 27. I am John. This is... All right, let's get right into our question. Are all people just as they were lost through Adam saved through Christ? The answer, no. Only those who are elected by God and united to Christ by faith. Nevertheless, God in his mercy demonstrates common grace even to those who are not elect, by restraining the effects of sin and enabling works of culture for human well-being. Pastor V, this one is a bit of a as Keller said in his devotional on this, there's got to be a helpful balance in this, and this is a big one. Some Christians actually this is a struggle for some. How would you explain this?
Let's just say it's a right to struggle and be unsure about this. It's one of those things. I had one pastor call it, easy to understand. Easy to talk about, right? I mean, it's there, but hard to understand, right? I mean, the Bible uses the word election. It's there, but there's details of this that are hard to understand, and there's some mystery in this. How I would say God holds us responsible for basically choosing Him, for believing in Jesus. At the same time, God is sovereign and electing and choosing people for Himself. How both can operate at the same time is a bit of a paradox. I don't think we're meant to understand all that. But besides saying, I think first of all, a lot of this is meant to help us understand God's grace in our lives. Yeah. This is, I'd say, the first part of this. Those who are saved are those elected by God and united to Christ by faith. By faith is the key thing there. That we're meant to understand this not so much as like, look how great it was because I chose Jesus. But now that you're saved, for you to look back and realize God was at work in all of this, drawing you to Himself, adopting you to Himself.
It's almost remembering and looking back at
that's
what
right.
you're saying.
That's right. I think I would argue the doctrine of election is meant to be for Christians remembering back and realizing God's hand and fingerprints upon all of them. But the other end of it is to say, but God's grace is always active. And so His grace to restrain the effects of sin. Our world is not as bad as it probably could be, right? Mm-hmm. God is promoting and giving evidence to Himself all around us. And I just want to say, in saying this, we should be looking for evidence of God's grace and expecting that God's grace is more abundant than we realize, that He's saving more people than we realize, that He's using His common grace to then extend special grace to people and draw them to Himself. We want to be about that, as opposed to saying, "Are you elect? Are you elect?" No, we want to say God is gracious, and we want to be about that. We want to see. We believe that God is working to save people and making it effective, and He's using us to make that happen.
Yeah, I like the distinction you made, though, the special grace, and then you said common grace. So I think of the scripture that talks about like God reigns on the just and the unjust, right? So this idea of God in His nature, He's gracious, right? So He's gracious to all people. There's a special type of grace that you were talking about, but there's also this common grace that everyone has. I think that's very important. Yeah. I like that distinction, so that's good. But there you have it, folks. Catechism Tuesdays, week 27. We are getting through this. Love God, love people. Peace.